बट सर प्रॉब्लम ये है कि अगर कोई बच्चा, कोई भी लड़की या लड़की वहां बैठे रहते इंटरव्यू में और उन्हें बोलना होता, तो उन्हें ये बात दिमाग दिमाग में स्टक करती है कि ये आंसर्स ऑफिसर लाइक तो नहीं है जैसे हमें कोचिंग में बताया था, क्या मैं ये ठीक कर रहा हूँ? तो उस समय सर इस ये जो पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन है, इसका हम ये आंसर कैसे पता करें कि हमें क्यों इंटरनली आर्म फोर्सेस ज्वाइन करने, क्योंकि बहुत लोगों में पैशन बहुत है बट उसे वर्ड्स में नहीं ला पाते।
Yeah. So Ridhima, again, it comes to being authentic, and there's no perfect answer for this particular question. And if I talk about our times when we, us time tha ki I want to serve the nation was a standard answer. Why do you want to join the armed forces? I want to serve the nation.
हाँ हाँ।
So when I was working with these NCC cadets, I used to ask them to serving the nation means you really don't have to join the army. You can serve the nation even if you join the police, even as a doctor or a IAS officer or any other field you do. You are directly or indirectly serving the interests of the nation. You are contributing into
एब्सोल्युटली।
the growth of the nation. So what is
हम्म।
that? Why? Why? So that comes from the name that you have selected for your talk show, Jazba Junction. Jazba.
ओके सर,
तुम्हारे
यस
में
सर।
अंदर क्या जज्बा है? What is that? We used to at times call fire in the belly. Do you have the fire in the belly to do certain things? Like for example, if you want to join the armed forces, you mentioned ki, yes, love for uniform is there, discipline is there, and of course you get to serve in different environment. You also get mentioned specifically about military intelligence and might give you a way to go to raw. Incidentally, raw entry is a totally different field.
हाँ।
It is not through army, but yes, people do go on deputation through raw.
हम्म।
But again, instead of thinking of officer like answer or a perfect answer, you think yourself, why do you want to do? Authenticity and is the most important thing. And one more thing which I realized is like when you spoke about the officer like thing, I have heard many people who are so-called trainers or the coaches. Some are serving retired officers who have be served as a GTO, and there are some who are youngsters who appeared for SSB, could not clear it, but now they have become expert on Instagram and YouTube. They saying 5 times SSB appeared or 6 times so-and-so appeared, AFCAT appeared, and they are giving coaching to students. So just be appearing in a exam doesn't matter. Is not actually achievement. Achievement is I appeared and I got selected or I cleared the exam and now I have the experience. So that is what counts. And if I so how you are speaking, how you are expressing yourself, and like when you are speaking to me or I am speaking to you, you can make out whether I am being authentic or I am trying to show off something. And especially those people who are sitting in SB, the psychologists and the GTOs, they are trained people, they can make out. They can read through a person's mind as to that person is authentic or that person is being tutored. So obviously, if you give a tutored answer, you will not be you will not cross the line. But if you give an authentic answer, whether it is in Hindi or English or whether you're able to speak in a perfect manner or in a broken manner or slowly, if you're able to convey your point across to the person who's sitting in front of you, and they feel that you're authentic and they really mean what you're saying, that is, I feel, good enough. And I also heard about these officer-like qualities. A lot of people have started talking about officer-like quality.
यस
So
सर।
if you ask me, when we were in the academy, Even after passing out from the academy, even after becoming officer, we did not know what is the officer like quality.
अच्छा.
So then now later on we realized when we grew senior in service, and we through experience, through interaction with our senior officers, and so what exactly officer like quality means. If you talk about leadership qualities, so there's a very good book on leadership, and which says there are all letters A to Z, 26 letter means 26 of leadership qualities are there, and from those 26 leadership qualities, only your officer like qualities also flow in. For example, if you're adaptable, you're brave, you're courageous, you're dependable, determined, then you're enthusiastic, you're focused, you're growth oriented, or you want to grow in whatever you're doing, then you're honest. Then I is intelligent, integrity. Integrity is more important than being intelligent.
Yes, sir,
Integrity
absolutely.
is the foundation of everything. And not only being integral, showing integrity to your organization where you're working, or integrity to the family, integrity to the institution you are in, integrity to yourself, or authenticity to yourself. Many times, what we do is we try to impress others, knowing very well that this is not me. And at times we do it uh, because of the pressure
Mm.
around us to show that I fit into that particular environment. And at times we try to do it to show off. So you can make out when you see your friends around you, you can easily make out who's authentic and who's trying to show off, isn't it?
Absolutely, sir. True, true. Very
Huh.
true.
So the same applies for any, not only for SSB, but for any interview you go, whether it's for IAS, whether for a job interview, whether for internship or anything. When they ask you a particular question, yes, you have to be prepared. Your general knowledge should be, awareness should be good. Your knowledge about the organization should be at least reasonable. You can't be perfect about it. And so, talking about perfection, between perfection and excellence, what would you choose given a chance?
Between perfection and excellence.
Yeah.
Sir, I would choose excellence.
Yeah, and so you hit the thing right. Most of the time we get stuck, or we are not able to move forward. We Because we are looking for the perfect moment, we're looking for the perfect opportunity, perfect environment, perfect situation, and as a result, we lose the opportunity. And I'm sure you must have heard of this famous word which we call that procrastination.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
So what is
Procrastination.
that? Procrastination is because I'm not, even though I want to do it, but I'm not doing it because I'm looking for the right environment, right opportunity, right
हाँ, absolutely.
time. Yeah. So what is the reason? Because there's some lingering doubt somewhere in the back of my mind, which is telling me that yeah, you cannot do what you want to do, or you are not capable of doing it. Some inner voice
Mm.
would be and that inner voice arises because of the conditioning around you, because of the things which have been told to you by your environment, your parents, your friends, your teachers,
Hmm.
and so you start believing in them. At times you start, even though it is wrong, but you start, your mind starts believing in what is being told to you.
So you already answered our next question. We had one of our audience named Rakesh Sharma, and he
Uh-huh.
wanted to clarify this with you, as you are known as mind hacker, as I have heard it. So उसका सवाल ये था कि सर एनडीए ज्वाइन करने का पैशन पूरा है, मोटिवेशन पूरा है मेरे अंदर. मुझे पता है, आई एम वेरी
Hmm.
क्रिस्टल क्लियर क्लियर कि मुझे एनडीए देना है, 12th अपेयरिंग में मैं दे दूंगा. बट सर बात यहाँ
Hmm.
पे आती है कि जब सुबह होता है, मेरा मन ही नहीं करता बेड से उठने का कि मैं जॉगिंग करने जाऊं. सर बुक खोल के बैठता हूँ तो मेरे को सर करंट अफेयर्स याद नहीं होती, ना ही मुझे क्या बोलते हैं न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने का मन करता है. सर मोटिवेशन पूरा है, बट वो क्यों नहीं आ पा रहा कि मैं अपनी चीजें कर क्यों नहीं पा रहा. So I think procrastination and all you answered.
Yes, that is one thing. And another thing is, if you see when you're preparing for your board exam, for any exam for that matter, you make a timetable. All of us make timetable,
Yes,
but
yes.
how many of us follow that timetable properly? And why we do not follow that timetable is perhaps maybe even though I'm trying to do a particular thing for whatever reason, but in my heart of heart, I really don't want to do that. Right?
Sure.
That could be one possibility. Second could be too much of distraction
Hmm.
around you. And today's biggest distraction is this mobile of yours, then TV, social media. So what I want to say one thing. What I learned at a much later stage in my life, after I have completed, when I mentioned about Dr. Brigadier Vasim, he
Mhm.
used to conduct a. He's known as a time brigadier, and he's written a book called Million Dollar Kid.
Acha.
And in that, he talks about that in a day you have 18,600 and something seconds available to you.
Hmm.
But if you start taking account of your time, you'll realize that you are not utilizing that entire time.
Absolutely,
So,
sir.
and he used to ask us a question, if you have a bank account, you open a bank account, I tell you that every day at midnight, I'll put 18,643 rupees in your account, and you have to use the entire money in the next 24 hours. If you do not use the entire money, if you let that any money in the bank account, then it is not yours to carry forward to the next day. So what will you do?
If you talk about me, if I have this amount of money, so बैंक में नहीं रख सकते ना हम उस पैसे को,
उसको यूज करना है.
उसे यूज
I
करना
have
है
put
किसी भी
the I have put the money into your account, and you have to
हम्म
use that money within those 24 hours. So what will
हम्म
you do? What will be your
सर
first attempt? Will you allow any money to be left in the account?
नहीं, अगर लेफ्ट, अगर आगे चल के लेफ्ट नहीं होगा, सो ऑफ कोर्स आई हैव टू यूज इट, बट आई विल यूज इट इन सच अ वे कि वो आगे चल के मल्टीप्लाई हो,
Huh. So,
जैसे
but
आई विल
but
इन्वेस्ट.
your attempt will be that I will not let a single penny balance in the account so that it does not lapse, or it does not, because it will not be carried forward to the next day. Your attempt will be to use each and every single penny that is there in your account. Same happens with your time also. If you look back, if you sit down today and if you just make a list of the activities you are doing in a day from the time you wake up till the time you go off to sleep, you keep a track of each and every second, maybe in blocks of half an hour or 1 hour. You realize there's so much of time which we are not utilizing. We are allowing it to go unused
सर लेजीनेस,
for whatever
आलस.
reason.
आलस.
आलस, there's so many excuses. आलस है, मूड नहीं कर रहा, मन नहीं
हाँ.
कर रहा, like environment ठीक नहीं है, other things are, but there would be many other people also who will not, who are so focused. So why it could be because there's lack of focus again.
हम्म
You must have heard there were times when there's a story about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was
हाँ.
the
बिग.
president of India, and he was a genius, and he was the father of the missile technology and rocket and the
हम्म
space this thing in India. He used to study under a street lamp
हम्म
when he was young, because there was no light in the house. So if I have to do something and I really want to do it from the bottom of my heart, I will find a way to do it. But
एब्सोल्युटली.
if there's a even 1% or 10% of doubt in my mind कि ठीक है अभी नहीं का तो कल हो जाएगा, then you will realize कि we'll keep on finding excuses for not doing a particular, like this youngster who said कि पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, तो you have to ask yourself a question: why do I want to do this? Why do I want to join the armed forces? Why is it important for me? That why? These days you must have heard a lot of people ask you, do you know what is your why? Why do you want to do? If your why is strong, then you will do everything possible in your control to ensure that you do what you want to do. And here, I also am reminded of a word called self-discipline. That is
Hmm.
the key. And what is the self-discipline? The definition of self-discipline as per you, Ridhima?
Sir, according to me, self discipline is something which you have naturally in yourself, which you do not do to show to others, which you do because you want to do it because you have a strong why.
Yeah. So I'll share again. I'll borrow or steal Brigadier Basin's word, which he told us. Self-discipline is doing what you ought to do when you do not want to do it and when no one is watching you. Doing what you ought to do when you do not want to do it and when no one is watching you. If there's something which falls into that category, and if you are following this, then nothing can stop you from keeping your focus. Because if you see, when you are preparing for board exams, 10th exam, 12th exam, you know that you have to get at least 90 plus A grade to chahiye, ideally 10 out of 10, because there's so much of competition. And even though when you are preparing for a competitive exam, your board exams do not really matter, because there your performance in that particular exam matters, because where do you stand in the merit. But still, but still, you are focused, so you prepare. If you prepare well, you make a timetable, you follow it strictly to the T. And uh, in addition, when there is a requirement for taking a break, it is very much required. You do take a break, but you keep your breaks limited, because you do not want to lose focus. That focus maybe for a year, maybe for a month, maybe for a few days, or maybe for an hour also. And I am reminded of my son when he was preparing for his board exam. We of course hired a tutor for him. His name was Sunny Singh. So what he used to do is, his focus था कि उनके मेरे को basics clear करने हैं. After he said, okay, for the last 3 months you are just going to practice mock test.
Oh.
So he gave them the last 10 years question paper, and every day he would say कि okay ठीक है, you sit down. And I was at home, so he would say, uncle आप ऐसा करें कि just when they sit, start the timer, and 3 घंटे के बाद में आप उनसे पेपर ले लेना, whether they have completed or not completed. And so towards the end of those 3 months, they were at that level of confidence and competency that they could finish the paper and also get an accuracy of almost up to 90%. And that helped them when they were appearing, when they were given their board exams. Many questions came. He said, my son said, कि पापा मेरे को ये लगता है, ये तो मेरे को आता ही है. And but every day in the evening, he would go and play basketball for 2 hours. And also, my wife used to worry कि भाई खेल रहा है, पढ़ाई वढ़ाई. But that is how. So you have to strike a balance. You have to maintain a balance between everything. You have to do what you want to do in your career. Plus, you also have to follow other interests also. So because when you go out in the real world,
Hmm.
irrespective of whichever profession you are, there your overall rounded personality will help you achieve what your excellence. And so instead of striving for perfection, you strive for excellence. That is good enough. And focus is, of course, maintain focus.
Hmm.
And before everything else, first decide in your mind, what exactly do I want to do in my
Hmm.
life? And thereafter start working backward. And another thing which I learned again as part of my coaching thing was, we talk about visualization. So visualize as to, from today, where do you find myself in the next 6 months from now, next 1 year from now, or maybe 5 years from now.
Hmm.
What do I want to be? What kind of a
Hmm.
person I want to be 5 years from now,
Hmm.
whether in my profession and my personal life,
Hmm.
and what would be the character of that person
Hmm.
who has reached that particular outcome that you have set for yourself. So when you start thinking that way and start working backwards, things become much more easier. So those things were not available to us when we were growing up, but now so there's so many things are there. But this is the crux. Why is has to be very important.
So I hope audience, especially Rakesh, who wanted this answer from sir, that you got it very right, and I know you got it because सर बहुत अच्छा बताया आपने अबाउट फोकस एंड ऑल, क्योंकि आजकल की बात ये है कि बच्चे सुन तो सब लेते हैं, फॉलो अपने मन की करते हैं कि
बिल्कुल
हमने
एग्जैक्टली।
सुन तो 10 वीडियो देख ली हमने मोटिवेशन के बारे में, फिर एट एंड ऑफ द डे नहीं, मन नहीं कर रहा। बट दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो कि हमारा मेन पैशन क्या है, व्हाट डू वी वांट टू डू, so that we can actually get excelled. And sir, like the way you taught is really good, and I would मतलब बोलना चाहिए ऐसे तो आपके कोर्स मेट के सारे लोग बड़े अच्छे लगे, लाइक व्हेन आई हैड द कॉन्वर्सेशन विद ब्रिगेडियर सर, ब्रिगेडियर टिप्सी सर, सो he was also very amazing and jolly like you, like he was giving all the responses like this. So मैं बस मन करता है सुनने का ना, ऐसे आपके कोर्स मेट बहुत अच्छे हैं सर।
Thank you very much. Tipsy is an amazing person, and
हम्म।
incidentally, he was closely involved. He was a commandant of cadet training wing here in CME Pune. So he was
हम्म।
actually training the cadets who have joined the after from their 10 plus 2 entry scheme.
अच्छा।
So he was like that is where he was able to, you know, he was closely involved in the, you know, developing the future leaders in the army. And one
हम्म।
more thing I used to say, tell my cadets, and I used to also whenever I go in a particular forum I speak, I say that you guys are the future of the world and
हम्म।
future of the nation.
हम्म।
And you're also at a very comfortable space wherein you have access to so much of knowledge, information, and also tools available to you. But still you have to figure out what is useful for you. Ridhima as a person, not everything would be useful for you, so you have
हम्म।
to identify that and thereafter start working towards it. Then it will become much easier. And at times, what happens is too much of knowledge and information also confuses the person.
Cluster the mind, I agree with that।
And
मेरा
one
तो
more thing I want to share is I just give a small example. When I was in Udupi, my son was in Manipal and met
हम्म।
one of his seniors who was also doing engineering. And
हम्म।
his parents had come there in to Manipal because he had some medical issues, and he wanted to be a artist. He was very
अच्छा।
good in music, uh,
हम्म।
and he used to organize these drum circles. He was also part of the dramatics club in Manipal. And so his parents told him, said, okay, you do whatever you want to do, just complete your graduation engineering so that you have a degree or qualification to fall back upon if there's a requirement.
हम्म।
So he completed his degree and now he's working as a sound engineer with most of the big bands in India. And he keeps
वाओ।
on touring around the world and around the country.
हम्म।
There's one particular band which is based in Delhi. So he and plus also he performs in various shows and he's a sound engineer now.
हम्म।
So, but he's following his passion. There's another person I remember who did again engineering. Now he's become a travel blogger.
Oh, wow,
He's
that's an
working with
amazing job।
he's working with these agencies. He's enjoying life. He's following his passion. He's traveling and also he's writing blogs and earning money from there.
वाओ।
Today you would realize like what you are doing is also a passion. You can
हाँ सर।
actually earn money from this by just doing podcast like this. In addition to whatever you want, so don't leave this thing which you have started.
सर
Continue
इट्स
doing your podcast
नॉट
along with
ओनली टू
whatever you do in your
पॉडकास्ट।
life.
So it's not just limited to podcast, actually, as I told you, I'm just a student right now। तो स्कूल में like बचपन से sir, I was the one who was good in public speaking, it is one of my quality, like speeches, debates are my favorite one because I really love to do debates. So podcast is one of the feature of that public speaking. वैसे public speaking के जितने जैसे speech हुआ, debate हुआ, journalism, act like a, जैसे हम लोगों के inter school आते हैं तो उसमें आता है जैसे act like a news reporter. So I also do, like, I love speaking and I
Helpful.
speak a lot.
Good. So you must follow. You never know. You might may convert this into a profession. You might become one of the TV anchors, one of these. I'll see you in Beyond or somewhere,
मेरे
somewhere.
स्कूल वाले तो बोलते हैं to become a
Yeah.
TV
Yes,
anchor.
you can. You can.
Yes sir, absolutely. So I was appreciating you guys because sir मुझे ऐसा लगा कि I am just a student and I'm talking to you tipsy sir, Monica ma'am, all these people. तो
Hmm.
मुझे लगा you guys are so much, so आप लोग इतने reachable हैं कि अगर आप लोग एक बच्चे से बात कर सकते हैं, so you guys are amazing sir, amazing.
Thank you.
Okay sir, coming to the rapid fire questions. Sir, one army habit that never left you even after the retirement.
I would say self-discipline.
Okay, amazing. So one thing civilians think army officer do, but they actually don't.
So one thing which I would share is many times people used to ask me when I was in army that लड़ाई तो हो नहीं रही तुम कर क्या रहे हो? What are you
अच्छा.
doing? And you're enjoying life, you're just partying, you get
Hmm.
to adventure and everything, uh, army life is not just about partying and adventure. Army life is the basic core when nothing is happening, when in peacetime, is to prepare yourself for war. And so training is the crust. And we have been saying that the more you sweat in peace, the
Hmm.
less you bleed in war. So it is not only training yourself, you're training your men for preparing them for operations and also maintaining your equipment. Like, for example, I am from Ahmad Corps, I'm a tank man. So,
अच्छा.
maintenance of our tanks, maintenance of our equipment, maintenance of weapon to keep them in perfect condition so that when there is a requirement, they don't deceive you. कि
Hmm.
धोखा बोलते हैं ना इसने धोखा दे दिया, बैट ने धोखा दे दिया या जूते ने धोखा दे दिया, रनर है
Hmm.
बोलेगा, या फिर मेरे किसी और चीज ने धोखा दे दिया. So you have to maintain and you must be sending your car or two wheelers to a workshop for servicing.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So
Yes.
here in the army, when we have a thing called annual inspection, technical inspection of the equipment, wherein we
Hmm.
ourselves do the entire servicing of our tanks,
Oh.
including opening each and every part, cleaning it, oiling, greasing, opening the bogie wheels, so it is like you have to know your equipment inside out, because when you're in the operation, when you're in actual war, if something
Hmm.
happens, so you should be able to immediately put it in order. For example, if you're driving your two-wheeler tire gets punctured, then what do? Are you in
Then
a position to change the tire yourself?
no, not yet. अभी तक
So,
मैंने नहीं सीखा टायर चेंज करना.
so these are certain things which also help us in our day-to-day life. Like when I bought my bike as a young officer,
Hmm.
every Sunday, all of us who had these bikes, we used to sit down and clean our bikes ourselves, wash
अच्छा.
it, clean it, shine it, clean the carburetor, clean the spark plug. So it was a habit which was inbuilt in us, and that helped us now also. Like today also, if there's a requirement, if I have to change the tire of my car, I can do it on my own without any help. Similarly,
Oh.
my children can also do it. So one more thing is that bec- uh, because we are in the army, it helps our wives to be independent, our children to be independent, and also help them to uh, uh, become adaptable. They can adjust to any kind of environment very quickly, because every 2 years they are changing their schools. They are moving from one place to other, because we have to move on posting. And
Hmm.
at times they have to manage without us, because if I'm posted in a field area, they are on their own, so I'm not there when they need me, so they have to learn to survive on their own. So
Hmm.
it also helps you in your own overall personality growth. And that is why you must have seen there are so many Fauji kids, or we call them army brats, who are doing
Hmm.
so well in public life. There's so many actresses who are there who are army officers.
Hmm.
There are many uh, are there. There are many public persons who are there in public life who are being successful because of the upbringing, because of the way they have learned to live in their formative years.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, your round got a little bit too extended.
No, sir,
The
I'm
answer got
amazed.
extended. Yeah.
Amazed to listen each and every word of yours. Nothing is extended. Okay, so um, next question, coming up on to the next rapid fire question. Most scary senior line for you till yet?
Most scary senior line for me.
Hmm.
So, most scary senior line would be that I don't know how you do it, but you have to do it, and it has to be done
Okay.
yesterday.
Oh,
So
then
so that is the urgency, and you have
acha,
to innovate. Like in the academy, there used to be cadets are told beg, borrow, steal, or
acha,
manage. You have been given a task. Now, how you do it is your problem. That's not my. I'll not tell you how to do it. You are smart and intelligent enough. You figure a way out and do it. So
acha.
at times it does in certain situations it does become when the thing which has been given to you is very sensitive and it could have a major repercussion on not only you but people around you. Then that line becomes a bit
There.
scary. I don't know how you do it, but you have to do it.
ओके, ये तो स्कूल वाली बात याद दिला दी व्हेन माय टीचर यूज्ड टू टोल मी कि करना पड़ेगा, आई डोंट नो, डू इट नाउ.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sir, so coming upon the last segment of our podcast, which is the story segment. Sir, throughout your army journey and your life in the army, you must have met hundreds of people, some brilliant, some courageous, some unforgettable. So, can you tell us about one person? It could be anyone, like a teacher, a student, your senior, your fellow mate or batchmate, who inspired you the most, who had changed your personality drastically.
So there are many people who I can think of,
Hmm.
starting from my first year. Uh, uh, Brigadier, now he's retired, Brigadier H.C. Singh. That time he was a colonel.
Hmm.
And when we joined the regiment, so we as a second lieutenant, the CO is called as the old man.
Hmm.
And uh, uh, when I finished my graduation
Hmm.
BCom, I did not want to do chartered accountancy because that involved a lot of studies. So one of my uncles who was in Navy suggested that I must do computer programming. That was way back in 1983. So people did not even know what a computer is. So that is the time I learned computer programming. So that and I also worked for 2 years before I joined the army. So that my reputation had carried forward already in the regiment that he's a computer whiz kid. So
Oh,
what he did was he purchased a computer for the regiment. It was a Sinclair ZS Spectrum. It was just a keyboard, nothing else. Then
acha.
we had to use a small TV as a monitor and audio cassettes for storing data. So he
Audio
gave me the
cassette.
task, audio cassettes, audio
Okay, to
cassettes.
store the data. Oh,
Yeah, so those days we used to use tapes. You must have heard about in the olden mainframe
हाँ,
computers.
हाँ. सुना है,
They
सुना
had
है.
tapes and floppy disk and
Hmm.
hard disk drive, which are huge in size. They have to be kept in a air-conditioned environment. So he bought a computer and a thing, gave it to me, and he said, "Okay, in 1 month's time, you have to computerize the entire long roll of the regiment." Long roll means the details of each and every person, officer, JSU, and Jawan in the regiment, which we
अच्छा,
used to maintain in the form of a register. You have to make it computerized.
अच्छा.
So that was one thing there. So and he said that is your primary task. Rest everything is will be taken care of. Rest you will learn. And this is what I want you to do because you are a thing. That was one thing which which instilled a belief in yourself that yes, you are somebody special. And otherwise, before that, you used to consider average पढ़ाई में ठीक नहीं है, physically weak है, and also so one had to really struggle to in life initially. But as we grow in the army, so he was our first I would say, teacher. Then another officer who I would want to name here is his name is he retired Lieutenant General Alok Sinclair. He was my
Oh.
immediate senior,
Hmm.
and he was very passionate. Where he was professionally very good. And there was a particular incident wherein we were in the exercise area. We met with a accident, and we were in the middle of nowhere. Regiment were camping, where we were camping was 15 kilometers. So when this happened, he said, "Okay, are you all right?" We said yes, and, no major injuries. And then he ran back to the regiment, 15 kilometers, to get help at the
15
at
kilometers.
yeah, at night. It was around 11 or 11 or 12 o'clock at night. So these are the stories of, I would say, courage. And more, we always talk about courage is physical courage and moral courage. Moral courage is more important than physical courage, wherein
Amazing.
you are ready to do anything for uh, your subordinates, your peers, and your seniors. And that talk about spirit de corps.
Acha.
That spirit, that pride in your organization, the pride in the badge that you wear on your cap, the pride in the uniform that you wear, and that thing is something which is special about the armed forces, I would say, which carries on even after we retire. Even though I'm retired, but like we are connected with our coastmate, with our seniors. And if somebody comes to me, if I meet somebody who's from the army or who's related to army or even an army kid
Mm-hmm.
who comes to me for help, I would go out of my way to help that person in whatever my thing. So
Mm.
that bonhomie, that feeling of belongingness which is created, is something which is amazing, I would say.
Mm.
And that way, there are many things which you must have heard from the Tipsy
Mm-hmm.
Vadava
Yes,
also.
sir.
And so
उनकी
this is
आपके
something which is very, I would say, it shows the feeling of belongingness, the feeling of responsibility, and the feeling of moral and physical courage. Okay, otherwise, if you find in a normal day to day, if you find a road accident, normally you will say 90% people will just
shoot it. They will
they
shoot
don't
the
even
video over
stop.
there.
They don't even stop. Or these days, people have started making those reels of and show
Mm.
it on social media. But there will be very few people who will actually come out and help them. And the
Yes, sir.
same gentleman who I'm talking about, General Clare, I remember we were traveling from that time I was in Patiala. We were traveling from Patiala to Ambala,
Mm.
to Delhi in a train,
Mm.
and there was some accident took place. Somebody fell on the tracks.
Mm.
He got to know. He went
Mm.
to help that lady
Oh.
and get her medical help. And he was with his family. We were traveling together. His wife said, "What are you doing, Alok? We have other train will." But he said, "No, I have to do it." And so that is what is special about people in uniform, not only in armed forces, but even you must have seen the similar kind of examples taking place from the police forces also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they are.
यही जज्बा जो आर्म फोर्सेस
Huh?
में दिखता है ना, दैट इंस्पायर्स मी लॉट। और आपकी इस बात से टिप्सी सर की भी एक बात याद आई। हमारा पहला फैसिनेशन था जब मेरा सर के साथ, तो उन्होंने एक बात बोली थी कि पर्सन रिटायर होता है, उसकी पोस्ट नहीं। तो ये एक
Bilkul,
चीज
exactly.
जो
Yes.
आपने
Your
आर्म
rank
फोर्सेस
doesn't
में बोली।
require, like, you may leave the army, but army never leaves you. So
हाँ
that
वो।
will, that remains your identity even after you leave this world. But you will be remembered as from your as a colonel sahab or a brigadier sahab or a general sahab or even
हाँ
a
जी।
in the society or environment. So that is something which is yes,
रियली।
very great about this organization.
Yes, I find it very good, sir. बहुत अच्छा लगता है। Okay, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your experience today at Jazba Junction, with your perspective, your wisdom and experiences beyond the chess number. So, audience, I believe आज आपके बहुत सारे सवालों का जवाब हमें मिल गया होगा, because today हमारे पास माइंड हैकर थे और माइंड हैकर ने आपका माइंड पक्का हैक कर लिया होगा इस टॉपिक पे। So today's conversation reminded us that titles matter, achievement matter, success matter, but character matters more. And perhaps the what beyond The chess number truly matters. Who are you? What all labels are removed? Then once again, you are there. Thank you so much, sir, once again. And I hope we'll again meet at Jasba Junction.
Success in the whatever you're doing,
Mm.
and continue doing what you're doing. Don't stop this. Follow your heart. And one more thing which I learned very recently is between your heart and head, follow your heart. Give priority to,
Okay.
because when you start using your head, you start thinking too much. But when
Mm.
you use your head or when you use your gut, and 90% of the time, your heart and your gut feeling is the right thing it gives you the right kind of result that you're expecting.